Hey everybody, I'm Gerald, better known as Mr. Taterbuggin. Today I've got together a ladder tier tray. I'm going to give you an instructional video on how to put it together, make it real simple. The whole thing goes together real simply. First, we want to make sure that you got all your parts. You should have two sets of legs. These open up like this. On the bottom of those legs, you're going to find one set that has an L on it. I can't tell if that's upside down. I believe it is. And the other one has an R on it. Those are very important. When you go to assemble this, you want to make sure you've got two sets of legs. You've got 3 tier trays. And you also should have a package of Phillips screws. And that's all it takes. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver, and that's all it takes to assemble it. I'm going to use a little power drill here to help put that together today. It's a little simpler. If you use one of these, adjust the speed on this down to about a 10 so that it doesn't over tighten the screws on it. That's very important that you don't over tighten the screws. To begin with, you want to take and find the set of legs that is marked R on the bottom. And on the legs, you'll find legs here that on the legs that they're marked how they go together. It's very important. That's a very important step. When you assemble these, you want to make sure that these are as level across here as you can get them. The holes are all pre-drilled. So to begin with, we're going to start with the top tray. So you should have the legs that are marked R. And if you look right here, you're going to find an R1 and over here an AR1. That denotes where those holes line up on the trays. And if you look right there, you'll see that those are marked the same. So just very simply, let's get your package of screws out and open those if you can. I always have trouble opening Ziploc bags. So let's start with just starting a screw into the hole that's marked AR1. Line that up with the hole that's pre-drilled in that number 1 tray and just kind of start it finger tight, and then get your driver and start that down. We're not going to run it all the way down. Another screw into the other hole, line it up with the hole marked R1. Easy as that. And start the screw. All right, so now we can actually, once these 2 are started, tighten those up. And what that'll do is give you a level set here. Another important thing too is that as you're putting these together, you'll find that the outside of these legs, all of the holes are countersunk. The little crossbar goes to the inside of the top tray. That's very important. It's easy to get that tray lined up that way. All right, so let's put in tray number 2. Find where it says BR2 and R2. You're going to align those with the same holes with the other holes that are pre-drilled. Screw in there and a screw in here. And just simply get the screws in those holes that are pre-drilled. The legs will actually move a little bit so that you can adjust. Once again, we're not going to tighten them up. They're all aligned now, so I can snug them down until the drill stops. Don't over tighten it. Next step, tray number 3. Find the side that is marked with the R's for the right side. CR3, from where you see me here, is going to be closest to me. And those are marked the same on the underside, so it's easy to find that. A screw in each hole. Align the hole with the screw with the pre-drilled hole. Just start it finger tight. Go to the next one, same thing. Find the pre-drilled hole. Kind of get it started straight away. And tighten slightly. Go to the next one. Those should be aligned now so you can snug those up until your drill stops. And then flip it over. We're going to go to the left side now. So if you look at the ends of these trays, you'll see that they're all marked to correspond with the leg positions. So just simply open the legs up, try to get those kind of aligned to where they're pretty flat right across the top. And remember, the crossbar goes to the inside. Let's start at the top tray. And we're gonna get a screw started there. Same thing here. Remember, the legs will actually move around a little bit where you can get the screw started. All right. On this one, we're going to run the screws down, but we're not going to tighten them up because you may have to kind of adjust the legs a little bit. So we're going to go to the second tray. Align those holes. Screw in here. Align the screws. Run the screws down a little bit, but not to the board. Don't tighten them up. And then the bottom tray. Same thing with those screws. A screw in each hole. Align with the pre-drilled holes. Just like that. Run them down, but don't tighten. And then look to see if everything's pretty much in order, and then begin tightening the screws. Don't over tighten. You'll hear my drill stops turning when it gets to the right torque. And that's all there is to it. Your tier tray is put together, ready to go. Now, the only thing that I would suggest is, before you start trying to put this together, obviously you would want to decide whether you want to paint, stain, or leave it natural. Do all of that before you get ready to put together. One very important step. If you stain the legs, if you paint the legs, if you paint or stain these shelves, where those leg positions are marked are well behind the thickness of these boards here. So do not paint or stain over those numbers or you'll never get it together right. They're kind of hand put together, so they fit together only one way. Other than that, you're on the way and a complete tray. I want to thank you very much for your purchase. If you have any questions, you can reach us at Taterbuggin. Please, if you would, while you're here on YouTube, subscribe and like us on that page too. Thank you very much. And Mr. Taterbuggin is signing off.